With the release of Tekken 8, a game which literally advertised itself through a bunch of drones in the sky that simultaneously excited me about the game, but also made me really concerned about the dystopian cyberpunk future we are inevitably moving towards, it ignited a fire in me that was around when I was playing Tekken 3. And while in my memory I was destroying everyone with technique and precision, it was likely that I was just button mashing like all those goddamn Eddie Gordo players. God, I hate them so much. Now, while I was playing Tekken 8, it got me thinking way too deep about a minor topic that probably only a niche amount of people have ever thought about. What characters from Tekken have been featured in every game? And while that could be answered quite easily by looking at the roster from Tekken 1 and working off that, why not overcomplicate things and host a sort of award show with multiple categories? Now, on that note, let me run you through the award categories. The awards are as follows. The Golden Lore Award. Now, for a character to receive this, they will need to be the same character which is featured in every game as themselves, including Tekken 1 to 8, the Tekken Tag Tournaments, Tekken Mobile, Tekken Revolution, and the abstract Tekken Card Challenge. We then move on to the All Games Award. The character has been playable in all Tekken games. The All Major Games Award. The character must have been playable through Tekken 1 to Tekken 8. From there, we've got a couple more categories which I made up. The first one being Honorable Mentions Category 1 Award. This character has featured in all major games but one. Honorable Mentions Category 2 Award. Missing from 2 major games, but it's kind of weird and debatable. And then we have the Fun category, the very prestigious Pat on the Back Participation Award. This character was only featured once in a main game. Now that the stage has been set, let's move on to our Let's move on to our first category, the Golden Lore Award. Now, only 2 characters are actually featured in this category. The first being Nina Williams, the silent assassin who fights off assassination arts based on Aikido and Koppujutsu. Now, fun fact about Nina, she is the only Tekken character to feature their own spin-off game, Death by Degrees. Now, I've never played it, but based on my extensive research of watching the trailer, it looks like a Splinter Cell Hitman style game. I don't know, go play it if you're interested. The second character to win the Golden Lore Award is Paul Phoenix, the self-proclaimed strongest fighter in the universe using an integrated martial arts based on Judo. Now, the history of Paul is kind of frustrating, and all Tekken Paul mains will know what I'm talking about. The guy is technically one of the strongest in the Tekken universe, and he might be the strongest fighter outside of the Mishimas lore-wise. So, before Tekken 1, he had a match with Kazuya, and it was deemed a draw, and this was the first match in his career that he didn't technically win. Paul has also reached the semis multiple times, and in Tekken 3 he was the first person who technically beat Ogre, but then he left before it transformed into its final form, and Jin, being the main character, came and took all the credit. Now, if you think that's annoying, well, get this. The only reason he lost to semis in Tekken 2 was because he missed a match due to an accident on the freeway, making him late. Paul is frustrating, but he is a beast and is definitely deserving of the Golden Lore Award because he has been featured in every single Tekken game as himself. So, Nina, Paul, congratulations. Moving on to the All Games Award, the character that has been featured in every single Tekken game. Only one person sort of fits this category, and that is King. Now, the reason King doesn't get the Golden Lore Award is because technically, King is a title that 2 characters have had in the Tekken universe. The King that was in Tekken 1 and 2 is different from the King in Tekken 3 onwards. This is because Ogre killed the original King, and an orphan that was raised by the original King took on the mantle and was trained by Armor King. Both King 1 and King 2 are luchadors from Mexico who support orphans, fighting using lucha libre and pro wrestling. So congratulations King, you just miss out on the Golden Lore Award, but you do get the very prestigious All Games Award. Congratulations. Now we move on to the All Major Games. These characters have maybe missed out on 1 or 2 of the Tekken game franchise, but they are featured in every major game, so Tekken 1 to Tekken 8. The first one to win this category is Yoshimitsu. He is not in Tekken Revolution or Tekken Mobile. Now Yoshimitsu, the absolute fan favorite space ninja himself, he uses an advanced Manji ninjutsu fighting style. Now, Yoshimitsu is a Robin Hood-like character. He is the leader of the Manji clan, a group that steals from people who profit from dishonest activities so that he can redistribute his wealth to the poor. Now, what's cool about Yoshimitsu is that his appearance changes in every Tekken game. Lore-wise, it's suggested that this is to mask his true identity, but it means that people can get creative with his styling. Also, the lore around his sword is really cool. Go learn about it. Kinda dark. The second character to win the All Major Games award is Kuma. Now, Kuma, similar to King, there has actually been two Kumas. So the Kuma in Tekken 1 and 2 is different from the Kuma from Tekken 3 onwards. This is because Kuma in Tekken 1 and 2 was the father to Kuma in Tekken 3 onwards. So Kuma 1 passed away between Tekken 2 and Tekken 3. It's kind of unsure when exactly he passed away. But in Tekken 3, his son took up the mantle. And Kuma, both of them, being Heihachi's favourite sons, fight using the Heihachi style Juma Shinken. I really mispronounced that, but it is what it is. So again, congratulations to Nina, Paul, King, Yoshimitsu and Kuma. These are characters that have either been played in all Tekken games or all major Tekken games. So good feat, pat on the back, have a clap. Came out really passive aggressive. So let's move on to the more fun categories. The honorable mentions category number 1. This has featured in all major games but one, so Tekken 1 through 8. The first person to win this category is Kazuya Mishima. He is missing from Tekken 3. Now, you could kind of make the argument that his playable character was in Tekken 3, based on Jin taking on his moveset before Kazuya came back to Tekken 4, and Jin was a sad boy about knowing Mishima-style karate and trained it out of himself. But yeah, doesn't count. Kazuya was a dead boy throughout the period of Tekken 3. The second character to win the Honorable Mentions Category 1 award is Lee Chaolan. He was also missing from Tekken 3. So Lee was an orphan who was adopted by Heihachi. It sounds nice until you learn that the only reason he was adopted was to be a rival to Kazuya. So the lore is a little bit sketchy, but it's suggested that Lee got kicked out of the family after Tekken 2 and was banned by Heihachi. Lee, not being interested in revenge, went out and became a successful business owner and lived in a mansion in the Bahamas, Wat and Chad. Also, he has the best catchphrase.
Oh, excellent.
The final person to win the Honorable Mentions Category 1 is Heihachi Mishima himself. Now, the only game he's missing from is Tekken 8 and Tekken Mobile, I guess technically. There is the potential he could come back as DLC, but I have the feeling he won't. So, lore-wise, he was killed by Kazuya in Tekken 7, and if history repeats itself, lore-wise he won't be back in Tekken 8, as Kazuya was missing from Tekken 3 when he was killed off by Heihachi in Tekken 2. We now also have both Kuma and Rina? Both Kuma and Rina in Tekken 8 being influenced by his fighting style, so they kind of take on his moveset to complement it in Tekken 8. But on a more serious note, the voice actor for Heihachi unfortunately lost his battle to cancer on August 13, 2018. And while profit-wise, it would make sense to bring Heihachi back, I feel as though they're going to let the character rest. I could be wrong on this though. Okay, it's Dave from the future here. I just realized I completely forgot to talk about martial law. So, law was in every Tekken game but Tekken 3. Now, you might be sitting there thinking, hang on, I remember playing as Law in Tekken 3, but that wasn't actually him. That was his son. Yeah, so there you go. Martial law in every game but one. Now, moving on from the Category 1, let's get back to some more lighthearted fun. We now move on to Honorable Mentions Category 2. These characters are missing from two major games, but it's kind of weird and debatable. So, the first character to win this is Anna Williams, the sister and rival to Nina Williams. She was missing from Tekken 4 and is currently missing from Tekken 8, but could very well come back as a DLC character, and I feel as though she will. The second character to win this is Jack, the name representing a series of robots. Now, if we include Gun Jack from Tekken 3, which is kind of a prototype version of Jack 3 built off Jack 2, Jack is only missing from Tekken 4. Don't know what it is with Tekken 4, but there you go. Congratulations to both Anna and Jack. Now that we've given out all the major awards, let's move on to the Pat on the Back Participation Award. So to win one of these awards, you have to feature at least in one main game and is playable. There's also a good chance that I've missed a few people here. If I have, just leave them in the comments and I'll do 100 push-ups for each person I've missed. I might regret that. Also, please note that there may be spoilers, just tread with caution. So to start it off, let's just start off with the new characters debuting in Tekken 8. We have Azucena? Azena? How do you say that? Azucena? Well, sorry. She is the Coffee Queen introduced in Tekken 8 and uses a striking focus of MMA. We also have Reina, introduced in Tekken 8. She is the sassy lost child of the Tekken universe. Kinda cool. And we have Victor, introduced in Tekken 8, leader and founder of the United Nations Independent Forces and also the founder of the Raven Unit. Kinda reminds me of a French John Wick, but that's just me. Now, there's going to be a few characters here. We have also got participation pat on the back awards for Angel. She was originally a palette swap of Devil in Tekken 2, but has her own moveset in Tekken Tag 2. Akuma? Yeah, Akuma from Street Fighter. He was featured in Tekken 7. So what I love about Akuma is that technically lore-wise, Akuma was tasked to kill both Hayachi and Kazuya. And when he was asked why he took so long, he said he was waiting until they had gotten stronger. Boss. We also have Angel Jin. I'm not going to expand on this. Dr. Bosconovich. So Dr. B is a major character lore-wise and was technically playable in Tekken 2 through unlocking him. We have Eliza, a literal vampire. A cool fact about Eliza, she was technically first introduced in Tekken Revolution, but after being so popular and winning a poll in 2013, she was introduced in Tekken 7 as DLC. We have Gon, an unlockable character in Tekken 3 and is a literal dinosaur. Josie, introduced in Tekken 7, fights using kickboxing combined with Muay Thai. Katarina was introduced in Tekken 7. Kazumi, again, introduced in Tekken 7, and is the reason Kazuya and Jin have the Devil Gene, so is a major character lore-wise. Lydia, yep, you guessed it, introduced in Tekken 7. She is the Prime Minister of Poland. It's pretty cool. Lucky Chloe, let me check my notes. Oh, introduced in Tekken 7. Whoa, what a surprise. We have Master Raven, the big boss of the Ravens, and was introduced in Tekken 7. Negan? Okay. He was also introduced in Tekken 7. Noctis, another character introduced in Tekken 7. Jeez, Tekken 7, you were busy. Who else we got? We have Miharu. She was first introduced in Tekken 4 and was a palette swap for Ling Xiaoyu. Tiger, a disco-styled capoeira fighter in Tekken 3. He was a palette swap of Eddie Gordo. And young Kazuya, a young version of Kazuya. He got his ass handed to him by Heihachi. What a good dad. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed me talking about this niche topic. I find the lore of Tekken extremely interesting, so I'll probably make more videos on Tekken in the near future. But until then, enjoy your day.